Hi, this is Paul Slakis. I'm speaking to Lisa Nemzo. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good, Paul. How are you doing?
Okay. Did I say your last name okay?
Nemzo. Yep.
Nemzo. Now, you're going to know this name because Lisa has just come out with a tribute song, part of a movie, if I understand this correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The music
about
video.
Our soldiers. And today actually is a day of remembrance, a day of yesterday, I guess, official day for the vets, Veterans Day, a national holiday. And you wrote some music, and it's getting about 1 million plus hits, and it keeps growing because it's a very important song and commemorating a mother's love. I believe. You'll tell me more in our audience. So thank you for doing that, and you're well known, and you've done a lot of good things, so please share it with our audience.
Well, as of right now, I just went online because I haven't looked over the weekend. We hit 1,032,732 votes. I mean votes, listen to me, views.
Views, yes.
I got the election on my brain.
It's over. It's
sort of over, but, it's never over, really, right? But anyway, we have 1,032,732 views, which is incredible. And this, I was watching a documentary, actually. It was just sort of late night and just relaxing, and just turned on the tube, and it was just showing something. I don't know whether it was a special that they did, Arlington, A Call to Honor. And they just had this snippet in the 2-hour special that I saw, and it was a mom getting interviewed by this narrator, and she was talking about how she drives from Elmsford, New York, which I even know where that is.
I do too. I grew up right next to my mother's librarian in that town.
So she was saying she drives from Elmsford, New York to Arlington 4 or 5 times a year. She brings flowers, and she brings her son's favorite childhood story, and she reads to him, and I was thinking, what? And she said because he was killed in Iraq in 2005. And then they cut to the gravestone, and she's sitting in front of it, and she's reading him the story, and she's it's really sad and moving and all that. And I was like riveted by the story, and she said, I don't want him to be forgotten. We're forgetting everybody, And the narrator ends this segment of it saying, some say Arlington is the saddest acre in America. And I shot off my couch into my studio, picked up my guitar, and it just exploded out of my head. It was just these words and the melody and especially the intro started. Anyway, I started writing it, and I got sort of stuck with some of the lyrics. I couldn't get the pre-chorus, and I was actually, in touch with my co-writer, Artie Colatrella, and he had been fighting cancer for a few years, and we were on the phone every day, and he was like, you wrote me this email, and you said you were working on a song. What are you working on? And I told him the whole story, and he goes, I saw that, too. I saw that. And he goes, that was really pretty heavy. I said, it was. And he says, well, what are you having trouble with? And I said, I can't get the words to the pre-chorus, and I got a couple of problems with the verses. I just don't, can you help me? He goes, well, I just had a couple of shots of morphine. I don't know if I can, concentrate. Well, anyway, we've been writing together since 1975, and he just, he said, I got to hear the music. So I played him the music. I played him the music over the phone, and all of a sudden he was just like, what about this? He goes, eternity keeps calling. I now hear your voice. One by one keeps falling. Never anyone's choice. And I was like, oh, my God, how did you do that? He goes, I don't know. It's the music. Anyway, he was in and out, spacing out and stuff. And that was last year. And he passed away September 2nd. So I just thought, he had talked to me while we were writing this. He goes, this isn't enough. You got to make a movie. You got to make a film. You got to do the film. You got to get real military. He had all these ideas, and I said, I'm going to do it, especially after he passed away. I thought, I'm going to do it. So I ended up, finding a director who was very much on board with me. Everybody in the film worked for donation only. The only thing we had to come up with was insurance money because you have to have insurance and stuff. We had real military people. We had actors. Had a real combination. We shot it at Chino Airport in Southern California and the West LA VA cemetery, and we do have footage in Arlington as well. So it's all real. All of it's real. None of it's stock footage or anything. And the weirdest part of the whole thing, we had a lot of things like this, but this was the weirdest. I had to rent uniforms and get everybody's, uniform size and everything from this company in Burbank. And they came with name tags on them. And the guy that plays my son, the soldier that plays my son, his name is Tyler Schnabel in real life, but he had a name tag on his uniform. And his name tag was Jenkins. So we're not searching through something where we can shoot at the VA cemetery in West LA, where there's no stucco buildings and there's no palm trees and you can't see the freeway. We're looking all over the place, running around looking, and one of the, our DP is from Arlington, Virginia, and she picked the spot. She goes, "This is it. This is the spot. This is the spot that looks the most like Arlington." And so we stopped, and the director, Marianne Squares, got out and walked down one of the rows of the tombstones, and she goes, "Oh my God, everybody get in here." So we all went to where she was standing, and she said, "Look at it." And we were like, "What?" She goes, "Look at the tombstone. It says Jenkins."
Oh my God.
I know. And so if you look, in the video, when the soldier comes to me, I play the mom, and when the soldier appears as the ghost behind the actual tombstone, which we had slated as our storyboard, you can see his name tag is Jenkins, and the tombstone says Jenkins. I mean, if we had tried to find this, we never would have been able to. I mean, what are the odds? It gives me chills just to even think about it.
Me too, and it's it's meant to be. It just was meant to be.
Totally.
These things
there are a lot of things like that. So
the love of everybody.
Yeah. And I've been, I've known a lot of people growing up, with Vietnam vets and Persian Gulf vets, and and seeing the suffering, of the, post-traumatic stress. And I met these people, the David Lynch Foundation, and then Lorraine Cancro from the Global Stress Initiative organization, and those guys are all helping, with all of the families and all of the wounded warriors coming home, and even the ones who are not quote-unquote wounded, with working with their PTSD, by teaching them transcendental meditation, by giving them any kind of help that they need in order to really, not have those flashbacks. And they're hooked in to the video. You can see at the end of the video, you can see their organizations, and we're just trying to raise money so that we can really keep this going, because they're giving this for free to all the families and all the military men and women that are suffering. And and the last thing, statistically, this is I didn't believe it when I heard it, but I know that it's true now, that for one soldier killed, 18 suicides. It's all from, not being able to handle coming back. Some of it happens even, over there. So we've got to do something. Can't just forget about it because they're home,
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's what made me make the film.
Beautiful. Well, it's magnificent, and we have the link for people to see it. And
I'm so appreciative.
And we got it up today too, so we have the story up. We just we kept trying to get the interview. Actually, how it's such a beautiful thing. We're meeting actually through a gentleman who made a song for the Grandparents National Day.
Oh, I love that.
Recollect. You and I, or that's how I think we met. I don't know. Or Johnny Prill, does that name ring a bell to you?
I think we met through Danetta Campbell over at the Barnyard Group.
Well, Danetta by far is a close friend, and her good friend Bobby Bagger helped start the founding of Good News many years ago. And But there's just so many ties to people doing good, and Lorraine is by far can't grow with Saturday because of other good things to help Haitian orphans, and there's just so many people doing good in the world, and that's good news. It's a beautiful thing.
And you are too, with with you being able to broadcast. I really appreciate it because the more people see it, the more awareness gets raised, and the more money we raise to be able to continue to help everybody.
The more hope we have. The world is good.
Absolutely. Look at the Washington Post called this video and song an anthem for our generation, quote unquote. And
I saw that.
I was really blown away by that. And we had amazing people, in the band. Freebo from Bonnie Raitt's band, bass player, and Deborah Dobkin from Sean Colvin, and Richard Thompson's band on percussion. We had a lot of really cool people in that just joined in, and we all know each other. If you talk about what you're, the networking, the hub for us, the one person, that's why we all know each other is because of Artie Colatrella, who's not even here anymore. Yeah. We all know each other.
Tell me something about him. Tell me a nice thing about him.
He was the most amazing poet. And he's got 3 or 4 books out of his poetry. He was just he did a lot of things. He got songs with Frank Stallone in Staying Alive. He had a lot of success in his he was a lyricist and poet, and ran booked the Blue Lagoon Saloon here in Marina Del Rey for years, which is how Freebo and I know each other, and Deborah and I know each other, and he was really the hub of a lot of things. I miss him a lot. We wrote steadily for all these years, and to not have him around, I feel him around, but he and I did not know that we felt so strongly about this cause until the song came up and we actually talked about it. It's so amazing what you don't know about each other. So he is a very, very cool guy.
Very beautiful. Let me ask one last thing. What's good news for you? And thank you also very much for doing what you're doing and and giving us an opportunity to share the good things with our audience. So what's good news for you?
What's good news for me? Well, I'm in the process of producing a couple of bands, and I've got a couple of things on the almost front burner with the founding members of Heart up in Seattle. It's not the girls, but it's all the guys, and they formed a band with a new singer, and I'm in the band and I'm writing for the band, and so there's a lot of good things going on in my life. And I'm very grateful. Music is the universal language that helps me sort of open up the doors and meeting, people like yourself, and just to keep it, what do they say, pay it forward,